question number 19. So question number 19 wants us to solve the literal equation, alright? So when solving this literal equation, guys, alright, there are several different methods you can use, alright? It's not the same thing every time, and this can be tricky because literal equations means equations that have more letters than numbers, alright? So let's read the first question, guys, and let's try to evaluate it, alright? So the question says we need to solve the equation below for b. So let's first evaluate what it wants us to do. It wants us to find b. When it tells you it wants you to find something, the aim is to get b all by itself. So firstly, let's locate b. Is b on the left side of my equation or on the right side of my equation? That b is on the left side, alright? So my aim is to get everything that's on the left side to move away from the b, alright? So the furthest thing away from this b that's on the left side is this a to the second power a squared. To move a positive a squared that's not attached to the b, alright, I would need to subtract a squared on both sides. If I had seen something like this, however, that would mean I would need to divide a squared. Because again, the a squared would be attached to the b. Here, I see that the a squared and the b are separated by this addition sign. So I know I'm trying to add or subtract them, not multiply them. So to move a positive 2x squared that's being added, I would subtract a squared, not x squared, sorry, a squared. I subtract a squared on the other side, because if I do it on one side, I need to do the same thing on the other side. That would get canceled, alright? And my positive b squared, I bring it down, okay? Can I subtract a squared from c squared? No, because they're not like terms. So I would write c squared minus a squared. It doesn't matter the order that you write this in, alright? As long as you have a negative a squared and a positive c squared, okay? So again, now we need to get rid of the number that's in front of this b, but technically in front of this b is a 1. And if I divide by a positive 1, are any of these terms going to change? No, they are not. So I still have b squared equal c squared minus a squared, alright? So the only thing I would need to get rid of that's attached to this b is that squared. And the opposite of a squared is a square root. Alright? So again, opposite of squared, alright, is square root. So opposite of squared is square root. Okay? So I would take the square root of this side, and if I do it on one side, I need to do the same thing on the other side. So all of this is underneath the square root. So everything is underneath that house. Alright? So the square root cancels the squared, and I'm left with b is equal to the square root of c squared minus a squared, because I cannot just take the square root of something that looks like this. Alright? And because I have b all by itself, it doesn't have an exponent, it doesn't have a number in front, it's all by itself, this would be my answer. So again, my answer is square root c squared minus a squared. Okay? So again, guys, this can be tricky, so make sure you pay attention to all the different things that I'm doing. Okay? So let's try the next one, guys. So let's try the next one. Alright? So for the next one, guys, it says solve the equation below for h. So the aim is trying to isolate h. So first, let's locate the h, okay? So if I look at this, guys, is the h on the left side or on the right side? On the right side, all right? So the aim is to get rid of anything that's being attached to h, all right? So in this case, I don't see an addition or subtraction sign. So would I need to add or subtract anything? No. So before, the first thing I needed to do was subtract, because I did see an addition sign. So I had to subtract the a squared, because this is a positive a squared. So the opposite of positive a squared is negative a squared. So we subtracted. Here I don't see an addition or subtraction sign. I see everything joined together. Alright? Whenever you see something joined together like that, that means you're multiplying, all right? So similar to that example I showed you before, if you saw a squared and a b squared beside each other, that means you're multiplying. So in this case, they're all multiplying by each other. Pi is being multiplied by r squared, which is also being multiplied by h, all right? So two things are being multiplied. So to get rid of those two things that's being multiplied, all right, I would need to divide by those two things. So what are the two things I need to divide by? Pi and r squared, all right? So I need to do the same thing to the other side. Divide by pi and r squared. So this symbol means pi. Pi is a number which is 22 over 7 or 3.1428 and recurring, okay? So this cancels this, all right? This cancels this, and I'm left with h all by itself is equal to v being divided by pi r squared. And do you think I can divide v by pi r squared? No, I cannot. So my answer for h, that's all by itself, is v over pi r squared. All right? So again, just like that. So let's look at the next one. So again, it says to solve the equation below, but this time we're solving for v. Okay? So for me to solve for v, first I need to locate v. So if I look at my equation, where is v? On the left side or on the right side? It's on the right side, all right? However, my problem with that is that v is at the bottom. I need to have v at the top. I don't like to be at the bottom. I need to be at the top, all right? So to put this at the top, I would flip it, okay? So again, to put this at the top, I would go ahead and flip it, okay? So I would flip m over v to be v over m, all right? But if I flipped over here, I have to do the same thing over here. Because if I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other side. This d is the same as d over 1. So if I flip d over 1, I get 1 over d. Okay? So now I have the v at the top. All right, so I'm good right there. So now I need to get rid of what's at the bottom of v. Whatever is at the bottom of v means I'm dividing v by it. So I'm dividing v by m. Okay? So that's what it means when you see a fraction. So again, this is meaning that you're dividing 1 by d. So again, I'm dividing v by m. So the aim is to get v all by itself, because again, it says solve for v. So I need to get rid of dividing m. To get rid of dividing m, you would multiply by m. Opposite of divide is multiply. So if I multiply on one side, I need to do the same thing on the other side. Multiply by m. This cancels, and your v is equal to m times 1 is m. All right? M is the same as m over 1, but we know 1 times d is still just d. All right? So we have m over d. That's what your v is. Because v is all by itself, it has no exponents, it has nothing attached to it. Your answer for v is m over d. All right? So again, guys, just like that. But these can get very tricky, guys. So try practice a lot of the different examples.